Yeah, what up? So I had seen this and I had to immediately, I posted it and put my thoughts out there on, my social media or whatever. But I just feel like this is one of the most humblest things that I feel like Lupe could have did, and that's incredible. But of course, everybody's gonna say the obvious. Oh, he's a hater. He's hating on Kendrick Lamar. How he gonna say Joey Badass had the best album over To Pimp a Butterfly or even J. Cole album last year or, Wale? Calm the fuck down. The reason what I'm saying that is because Tesla and Youth is album of the year, flat out. Me realizing, even when I knew it was like a manga, if y'all know what the anime is where you read stories backwards, I listened to the album backwards. It's incredible. The way you get to hear Mural at the end instead of the beginning. And I was like, this is such a non-selfish, tweet from Lupe Fiasco. And I was like, wow, like I was like so thrown back by it because it's like he could have went on there and said anything. Could have been like, fuck the nominations, fuck the people that's in it, blah blah blah. But he did a selfless thing by actually saying Joy Badass had the best rap album out of everything he heard, including his own work, because we seen the press run when that album dropped. And as you see his reasons for it, it makes sense. Now, do I agree with that? Of course not. Y'all remember when I reviewed it? I think we all was let down by the Joy Badass album because, we expected so much from it. It did great things as far as him being an independent artist. That was wonderful. Even a little riff between him and Troy Ave, which nobody's going to talk about no more. But that's beyond the point. Was it a good album? Hell yeah. Was it lyrical, substance wise? Of course it was. But album of the year? Nah, it's in the top 10, no doubt. You have to put that in the top 10. I would say top 5 album. You got to throw that album in, any top 5, top 10, whatever, regardless of the case. But I just thought this was very humbling experience as a fan of music to see something like that because I didn't expect nothing to, this is what you call leading by example. You know, Out of everybody that felt like they was snubbed or they was this and that, they put their opinions out there. So we did as fans of music, and we all feel like it's rigged in a sense. You know what I mean? And congrats to Kendrick, of course. That haven't been done since Michael Jackson. Clear sweep at the Grammys in the '80s. A lot of y'all kids don't know about that. Go look it up on YouTube. But not only that, MJ kind of did that shit at the what was it? The American Music Awards I posted? Beyond the point, whatever. But 11 nominations, that's what's up. But I still feel like the Grammys, we have to keep it real. They fucked up with the Macklemore shit. So now they're trying to refix that in a sense. Now, what I admit that it are is songs on there that should go for a Grammy Song of the Year. Of course, all right, that was my favorite joint. That one, the one Barack Obama I definitely like that song. But I just feel like when it comes to the Kendrick album, I mean, unless you own some Paul Rosenberg shit, you understand the difference. When the first single came out, crickets, right? Nobody, everybody was like, what the fuck is this? We all remember that moment. We can't forget that moment. And it's like, whoa. But the video will help you like it a little more. Then the album come out and you hear it. Of course, yes. Lyrically, that album was the best album of this year. Lyrically, in my opinion. I mean, not lyrically, sonically, if you go to the jazzness of everything that he tried to do. And that was pretty cool. Even though I feel like even Wale had a point, like he did start that new Black Soul shit, but yet he don't get credit for it. But lyrically, no. Joey Badass, his album is not that lyrical. I mean, it is, but it ain't on par with Lupe. That's not me being a stan. That's what y'all gotta understand. Like when you have certain artists that can just take a song, just a song, and you look at that, and that's better than a artist's entire album. You got more of that one song. Shit, you got more of the first half of Mural than you got out of a lot of these people that drop albums, and that's just real, you know. And I was like, before I do my list, let me go deeper into Lupe. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Like his music. That Lost in Atlantic EP that didn't drop, but he it's gonna the music that's gonna be on Skulls. Those songs are better than half the shit that came out this year. So that's the part where I was just like reading this, and I'm like, this nigga, I respect it, but I don't really understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, I get Joey Badass definitely should have had a goddamn nomination because if he independent, so is Macklemore. He needed a nomination. So did Lupe. So did Wale. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why not. But for him to do something like this, I thought that was pretty big of him as a person. You know, and you got to respect that because he could have said anything. And we've seen Lupe when he, if you go back and watch his Hot 97 interview when him and Rosenberg going back and forth over Kendrick, and it's just like saying the best, my nigga. Like he has a fucking valid point. And then you don't really hear discussions. I was just looking at comments and shit, and people like, yeah, people don't even talk about the control verse. And even that, people have now they're starting to say that, well, his verse was cool, but so and so destroyed that beat or destroyed him lyrically. Did y'all ever listen to SLR too? People were like, oh, they hating. How Lupe hating? Like, it's just like saying you nice in this generation, but don't forget that, you know, us, we still here. You not better than so and so and so and so. How are you the best? And I think Joey Badass is a good guy because he kind of stays away from all that turmoil when it comes to like being braggadocious and shit like that. He's a humble dude. He know he nice. I mean, if I was to say, okay, is 1999 better than To Pimp a Butterfly? What would y'all say? Answer that in the comment section. But when I listened to D'Angelo album 2 days ago, and I listened to Kendrick album, and I'm like, what's the difference in these two albums? One is a singer, one is a rapper. Like what's the difference? Like, I get it, you know, the Andre 3000 type of, but I mean, I think what the problem with artists or fans when it comes to Lupe is that the way he raps, it's too, it's not, you know, dumbed down when you get it automatically, you know. And when you think about that, would you want something that's so simple, you get it right when you listen to it, or do you want something where you got to go back, like, hold on, what did he just say? And it's layers to it. I think that's better lyrically than just something I'll get off bat. It's like, okay, that's dope, but I got what you were saying. Because it's just like I always say, is fans stupid or are they intelligent? Because if you were high intellect and you in class, like, you don't want to be the nigga that's always getting D's. You want to be in that top bracket to get all A's. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand how people can go back and forth for days when I'ma still make the same argument. Section 80 drop, classic. Good Kid, Mad City come out, everybody waved it off. This shit whack, this shit hella weak. It's not better than Section 80, right? It's only so many true fans that can admit to this day that Section 80 as a body of work is better than Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm not saying that, but I know it's fans up there of Kendrick's that will admit that. So the confusing part for me, okay, if Good Kid, Mad City came out and they say that's a classic, but yet Section 80 was a classic, one got to be better than the other one. That's how art works. Like Basquiat made this painting. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. He makes another one. Okay, he topped what he did. And that's the part about music when it comes to fans, like with the generations. It's like you look at somebody like who I idolize and love and respect, Michael Jackson. Anytime he did something, he topped himself. He didn't care about everybody else around him. He was trying to top himself. You know what I mean? So when y'all be sitting here and saying who's the best and all this and that, y'all really got to be honest with yourself. Do you like it because it's easy for you to understand? Or are you just liking it because you're trendy because everybody else likes it? Yeah, I heard it. Y'all remember the review. You can go back and watch my To Pimp a Butterfly review. I admit, yeah, lyrically it's great, but it's not something you can listen to every fucking day. It's even been people that said they listen to half of it and they can't get into that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on who you are. Culturally impactful, yes, it was dope. But is it anything new? No. If Lupe wouldn't have said what he said about the president and his career went smooth And we got the lasers that we were supposed to get with the song Fire on it and so many other dope records. Y'all wouldn't be talking about Kendrick Lamar like that. And deep inside, y'all know that Kendrick can't rap better than Lupe Fiasco. It's just impossible. I spend time going back and forth from old work to now. And it's like, yeah, Lupe is from the older generation. I get it. He's like a lot older than Kendrick. So the younger people cadence to Kendrick. But as y'all get older and you really look back on this music scene right now, you'll realize that, okay, we did make a mistake. Like Kendrick wasn't that, you know? Because every time they do that, they stack the artist up like, yo, what more could he do? Let him drop something that's not so, wow. Then that's when everybody say, y'all, whack, blah, blah, blah. Same shit that happened with Kanye 808s, Lupe, Lasers, Jay-Z, Blueprint 2, Kingdom Come, so forth and so on, Lil Wayne, The Rebirth. Every artist has that album that just, you know what I mean? Then you discredit him. So basically all I'm saying is that when you are a fan of music, know why you liking the music. You know what I mean? It don't make you a stan because you believe in something. That one song that Lupe put out that's gonna be on Skulls, it changed my whole perspective on everything. When I listen to Kendrick album, a couple joints that I could relate to, you know, and I understand what he's going through and his inner demons and fighting this and that. But at the same time, it's just like I can't listen to that every day. It don't have that, you know, I gotta be in a certain mood to hear that. Lupe may not have the best production on Tetsuo and Youth, lyric wise, it's a story. You can get into the story. So does To Pimp a Butterfly, but it's just not the same. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this is a red apple, but I'm kind of into, you know, Granny Smith apples. They're a little better. You know what I mean? That's just what I think. Y'all let me know if I'm bugging. I'm out.